People say, why did you create the BIOS program, Nick? Well, to share my knowledge and understanding about keeping strong and living longer. What makes me so passionate about it is that it relates to my own very vivid personal experience. And the story begins really with the birth of my youngest son when I was, at that time, 51. I realised I was going to have to be fitter right then and still up and running in my 70s, not least because my partner had died, leaving me with a son to raise on my own. So to be a super dad at 70, I was going to have to do some work. At that time, I was out of shape and I was overweight, and simple stuff like putting my suitcase into the overhead locker in an aircraft or moving heavy stuff around at home was starting to become more difficult than it really should have been. I knew I had work to do. So I started going to the gym, found myself a personal trainer to make sure I didn't injure myself and to make sure that I used my time effectively. And it worked. I got stronger and I got fitter. And by the time I was 60, I was rocking and rolling. I felt my health was well under control. And yes, well, I wasn't doing too bad as a dad. And then I got ill. And what started just as a sore throat suddenly found me feeling short of breath, and then admitted to hospital with a diagnosis of pneumonia. Wow, that was a bit of a shock. 6 weeks later, I was alive and I was discharged, but I had a 6-inch scar on my chest where they drained an abscess, and I was weak as a baby. The doctor in ITU who saved my life told me that I'd survived mainly because I was way fitter than most men of my age. But obviously I had some ground to make up. But the good news at this point was I knew what I had to do. I knew how to get back my strength. So Ryan, my PT, and I worked hard on this intensively. And yes, 3 months later, I was back on the ski slope with my son. Obviously, I couldn't keep up with him, because you never can, but I was there. If I was going to be a super dad at 70, it wasn't just going to the gym. There were 4 or 5 other things I had to take care of. I had to avoid heart disease, boost my immunity against further infection, or more importantly, against getting a cancer. I mustn't get dementia. I had to be in a healthy state of mind and manage my nutrition to optimise all aspects of my health. Oh, and somehow slow down the consequences of the years passing. So what did I do? Well, I did the research, I did the work, I took the steps, and I can tell you that it's worked. That I am feeling stronger. I have lived longer than some of my contemporaries and expect to continue to do so. The programme works. And now you all get to share what I've road tested.